Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bomber Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfella, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you, get 18% off. We out. All right, Keith Thurman did an interview with Pep Talk UK. When he dropped content, it's pretty good. He had an interview with AJ in the car a while ago, man. He got Keith Thurman on. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And also put that interview link in the description or the source link. And he said some things, all right? We talked about earlier that Top Rank is looking to make a fight with him and Crawford, or him and Porter. And recently in boxing scene, you really don't know what to believe from Keith Thurman. Recently in boxing scene, he said he probably going to take a tune-up. In his interview, he said that he not too fond of tune-ups. He don't like easy fights. Training camp is too hard to have an easy fight. I'm paraphrasing there. And that, first thing he going to say is he want a Manny Pacquiao rematch. We know that's not happening. You had your shot. You missed it. He said that the rematch is worthy. And I think it is. I thought he won the fight by like a point, But is that a robbery? No. Can I see the fight going the other way plus the knockdown? Absolutely. It was a split decision. He said you had to cut too much weight. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? You ain't stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. In that fight opportunity, a lot of people don't know, was supposed to be Danny Garcia's opportunity. And Keith Thurman and Pacquiao odds look so bad versus Ito Lopez that he took the fight instead of the Danny Garcia fight. So Danny, in July last year, that was his Pacquiao opportunity. Pacquiao just called the audible and fought Thurman. And I think everybody was, excited about that fight. I believe that fight exceeded the hype. I went to the theaters and saw it, and man, it was an amazing fight. Pacquiao definitely showed that he still got it and found the fountain of youth. And, if you want to talk about a handicap, he older. Thurman should have never let that fight be that close to begin with. But I thought down the stretch, he kind of closed it out, other than a little body shot issue. But that's what kind of solidified it on the scorecards for Manny Pacquiao. But he don't deserve no rematch. Pacquiao going on to smaller things with Mikey Garcia, from what I hear. And he like Floyd said, he deserved to pick and choose who he want to fight. So he said he opened to fight Danny, Mikey, or Shawn, basically to get back in the running. Now, he told Terence Crawford, send a contract, I just might sign it. So if you send a contract, you going to sign it. I don't know. I might sign it. I might look at it. I might take a picture of it and send it back to Crawford. One time, you never know. So, you know how this dude is, man. Like, boxing be better off with that, without that personality and without that, mindset in the sport. But, he just said that he might fight Shawn Porter, or he might take a tune-up. So, who knows? And also, you look at the situation with what's going on with the pandemic or whatever. They giving Derevchenko $2.5 million to fight Charlo. So, it don't seem like the money didn't change too much for Al Heyman. So, his fighter still should be getting a solid payday. So, it shouldn't be no reasons why they don't give on good fights. We hear about Foden and Angelo Lee. We're hearing about somebody else, another heavyweight fighting. I can't remember who it is. Ruiz and Errol coming up. Also, you're hearing about Benavidez and the dude that beat Anthony Sims. So you got some solid fights coming up from PBC. You're probably going to see Charlo and Derevchenko. So nothing like knocking out the park. I mean, we got Katie Taylor and the Person's Girl. That's a cool fight on the Alexander Povetkin and Dillian White undercard. And not sure who Devin go fight, but Ryan and Luke coming up. So you got some solid fights that's coming up, but nothing that's superhuman that's gonna blow the doors off the Jeep. You feel me? But more than likely he probably may fight Shawn Porter again. Shawn Porter training and all that stuff, and it makes me no difference if I can get Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman 2 in the pandemic. I don't have no other choice but to take it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think they both passed their best since when they fought back in 16, 15, or 17 or something like that. Him and Danny fight, I don't have any. Unless Danny beat Errol, I don't really care. I don't think too much changed. Danny Garcia can't deal with that movement. Him and Mikey fight, that'll be interesting to see if he can do better than Errol Spence did. But he also said Errol Spence can't duck him. He was asked about Errol Spence dismissing him as a fighter and saying that he missed his opportunity. And basically, I mean, his predecessor, in my opinion, is him. All right, because he was the unified champion. He was the dude who filled the shoes or tried to fill the shoes of Mayweather. He got the preferential treatment with Al Heyman. Keith Thurman did what he wanted to do. He held the belt for 22 months, and they let him held the belt. Then they made him drop the WBC belt. So to me, he is, Errol Spence is Keith Thurman's predecessor, but I think in an interview he was referring to Floyd Mayweather. He said he gonna have to see everybody unless he gonna pick and choose his fights like his predecessor, talking about Floyd Mayweather, and that's why Keith Thurman started picking and choosing his fights. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand it. People sit here and condone what Errol Spence doing, but then talk about what Keith Thurman doing and try to hold him. Errol Spence ain't doing no different. He not taking them how they come. He picking and choosing his fights right now because before the accident, he was scheduled to fight Danny Garcia. Was it January 25th? Why not fight Terence Crawford? Crawford available. You said Bob wouldn't give it to you. You chose to fight Danny Garcia. Now, if Al Heyman helped influencing that decision, okay, he still don't get a pass. You gave up 15 or 18% of your managerial fees. You recoup that to let Al Heyman have full control of your career. Like I said last night, these fighters can't even, go into a boxing ring and fight whoever they want to without Al Heyman signing off on it. Al Heyman has complete control of their career. And I remember Bernard Hopkins, when they kind of broke free from Al Heyman, he told, and he had managed with Al Heyman for a minute. He told these fighters that y'all need to get control of y'all career. And that was one of the most underrated sound bites because, Al Heyman is controlling their career. But at the end of the day, they getting paid good. They even if some of them wanted to fight other fighters or fighters inside the PBC sphere or stratosphere, atmosphere, they couldn't without Al Heyman signing on it. You know what I'm saying? So, he talked about, Errol gonna have to see me. And he right. That's a fight PBC wanted to make. Still. They didn't really force it when Keith Thurman had the gun. But I guarantee you, if Keith Thurman had more seniority than Errol Spence at PBC, and if I want that fight to happen, I think that's gonna be they supplement for a Terence Crawford fight. I'm telling you that right now. That's gonna be their supplement. If Errol don't get Manny, even if he get Manny, that's their big fight right there. Because they're gonna try to build Keith Thurman back up. They might make him fight Shawn. He might get a tune-up. He talked about, the Kell Brook offer as well, too, and said that, he opened to fighting Kell Brook. He said, I want all, before I retire, I kind of want to do a European tour or I want to go over there and get some of them pounds. So, he said he don't really know where Kell Brook's name recognition is or his brand in the sport is at right now. He ain't been that active, but he open to the fight. Right now, there's some people talk about travel bans and stuff of that nature, and I was listening to Mike on Sports. He was saying, he used to be on the Boxing Voice. He's doing his own thing. I was checking the channel out, Mike on Sports. He was saying that there's been some fighters that's traveled over here and fought despite the travel ban and got some exemptions. So that should be interesting. Kell Brook and Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman should win the fight, but really, physically, you don't know where Kell Brook is always going to be at coming out of camps. His confidence is not high these days. Keith Thurman physically, you don't know what you're going to get. It's like two fighters that shell of themselves. It's like, it's like Tommy Hearns and fucking Sugar Ray Leonard coming out of retirement and fighting right now. And I say that jokingly. Because, Kell Brook ain't the fighter he used to be, and Keith Thurman's body just keep breaking down. He hit the way he hit the punching bag just made me cringe. The way he punches the bag does have pockets where you hit, and that's where you hit comfortably at. He just this elbow flounders up, and it just looked like it hurt when he punched, and he just tried to wing his shots. But he just had a hand surgery and elbow surgery. He got all these surgeries. His body's starting to break down. What is he? 32 years old. It might be an adequate fight. Especially if they do it at a catchweight. I think that's the best. There's no title on the line unless they make it a title eliminator. I mean, Keith Thurman, I don't know why he didn't fight Ugas for the regular belt. Maybe not entertaining the regular belt, because if the regular belt brought a mandatory to Pacquiao, then he would have entertained it. But it doesn't bring a mandatory to Pacquiao. So, I mean, that is what it is from that aspect of it. If he want to fight Kell Brook, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not shitting on this parade. He basically said Errol Spence got to see him if he want to stay champion. And he basically saying that, it sound like Al Haymon, the Premier Boxing Champions, going to put him in position, to take that fight. And that's going to be their version of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. I'm telling you, that's going to be the supplement for that fight. And, at the end of the day, Errol do got an IBF interim title fight he got to take. But who knows with the pandemic, will Qdoba and Lipias be able to get in the ring? So you might see a situation where Pacquiao beat Mikey, and then Errol and Pacquiao might do a fight next year. Now, if Errol go out there and stop Pacquiao, then I don't see that happening. But, regardless, I think the fight they want to close out Errol Spence' career for 47 at is Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? So he said either he going to have to fight me or move up and wait and give up the belt. So it wasn't even like he got to fight me or, move up and I'm going to catch him at 54. So I think Keith Thurman is going to be, I think he's going to end his career off at welterweight. And he started off at 54 and came down. His last fight at 50, or one of his last fights at 54, because he fought Carlos Katana at 54. People forget Katana, he beat Paul Williams he was the first guy to beat Paul Williams, and he's past his prime when he fought Keith Thurman on HBO. But Keith Thurman beat him. But before that, he got dropped by Brendan Hoskins at 54. That was his debut with Golden Boy. But yeah, he basically said that Earl got to see him or move up and wait. And now all of a sudden he act like he want that fight because he ain't got nothing to lose now. He kind of made some comparisons. He said that he felt that he beat Shawn Porter better. He said people said that he beat Shawn Porter better. I mean, that fight was close as well as Errol's and Shawn Porter was close. So I don't know. I think Kell Brook beat him. I think Kell Brook beat Shawn Porter better than both of them. And he said he did beat Bundu better, but Bundu said that Errol Spence will struggle with Keith Thurman, and we'll see. You know what I'm saying? People assuming that Errol Spence is going to come back 100%. We got to see. He ain't sparred yet. He got to get a third post put in his mouth. He said he can't spar till September. I know him and his fight with Danny should be announced soon. He showed his physique off yesterday. He looked like a dope fiend. But, at the end of the day, from what I heard, they didn't speak on Terence Crawford. I do know Bob Arum and whoever, Carl Moretti, is trying to find Crawford an opponent. I heard they trying to reach out to Shawn and Keith. So before, they make a fight with Shawn and Keith, I think Keith Thurman and Shawn Porter will fight first. So they wouldn't give him Ugas, so why would they give him Shawn Porter and Keith? And, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, that, Al Haymon is, it took Terence Crawford for him to start making some of these in-house fights. And that's the positive about it. If Crawford never came to 47, or he never existed, let's just say that way, he never existed, they wouldn't have started making the fights you want to see, straight up and down. Crawford is the reason PBC is giving y'all the fights y'all want to see. Years and years of Danny ducking Shawn, and Shawn ducking Errol, and Keith ducking, Shawn ducking Keith. Keith ducking the Shawn rematch. You could just keep going on and on. Keith ducking Errol, everybody ducking Errol. Nobody want to get Errol a shot. You go back to when he won a title. People didn't think that IBF was sexy enough. It was a pretty enough belt. They like green and black better. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? They forced Shawn. He could have fought Shawn Porter in March a couple years ago. Shawn Porter chose to fight Ugas. They couldn't sell a ticket. Then Errol fought the next week versus Mikey, and then Shawn fought Errol, and now Danny fought. He doing everything that Keith Thurman did years ago. Like when he said his predecessor, talking about Floyd, how Errol duck and dodge. I'm like, you did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You ducked and dodged Errol, so you supposed to think Errol supposed to turn another cheek, and fight you, but they gotta make Errol fight Keith when they feel like it. That's the difference. And Errol don't control his career and what he do. Al Haymon control everything, but he did everything that Keith already done. He not doing nothing new. Keith fought Shawn already. Keith fought Danny already years ago. So what else can he do in the division that's going to be significant? There's nothing. Keith fought Pacquiao. You fight Pacquiao. Keith already done that. So, inside this bubble they live in, they only started forcing these fights, especially with Errol Spence, because Terence Crawford came along. That's it. But like I said, no, I wouldn't expect Shawn or Keith to take them offers, no matter what it was. It's not really up to them. Sup the owl. So, hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. I put the interview link in the description under search link. Check out Pep Talk UK. Do some solid work. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal in the description. Just keep checking me out. But hey, man, come here. Come here. Everybody asks. Don't you knock down my shit. Come here. He gonna want to do his own thing. Hold on. Everybody asks about Miles, but he is still alive. It's just that the puppy, he needs more attention. So that's why I show Mason more, because Mason got a problem with shitting behind the couch. And he get into a lot of shit, and he got sick a couple times. And basically, Miles got to take a back seat to Mason right now. But he up here with me, chilling on this doggy bed. So about to go for a walk with Mason. So a lot of people ask me what happened to Miles. Did I replace him with Mason? Nah, I didn't. He's still here. So appreciate y'all. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon, buddy. We out.